where the legal battle between the federal government and detained leader of the proscribed Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, is far from over. The federal government has engaged the services of a senior advocate of Nigeria, Adegboyega Awomolo, as to lead its legal team in the prosecution of treasonable felony and terrorism charges brought against Kanu. Awomolo is taking over from David Kaswe, a senior lawyer from the Federal Ministry of Justice in Abuja, who had been handling the case for the federal government. Kanu has also engaged new lawyers for his defense, and his new team of lawyers is led by Aloy Ejimako and Pam Ejiofor. BKO, first of all, I want to understand the reason for the change, although no reasons has been given, adduced rather to the change of legal team. But what do you think could be the reason behind the change of the legal team of the federal government and also the defense lawyers for Kanu?
What I sense is a desire by the federal government to give the case utmost seriousness. Because when you look at this, the decision that has been taken, the implication is that they are going to spend more money to prosecute this case than they were spending previously. Well, it's within the powers of the Attorney General to hire a private lawyer to handle this kind of cases and relieve the principal counsel, who is a staff of the federal government, from it. Awomolo, the senior advocate of Nigeria, with more than 40 years post-bar experience. That's significant. He's one of the best judges and lawyers in our country. He's one of the most prominent, and for the Attorney General to have picked him shows to me that they are not interested in taking chances on this matter. And it's not as if the person who was there was not good enough, but I guess that they needed greater experience and greater knowledge of the law and all that, which someone in Awomolo's position will provide. As I said earlier, this will cost them more money because the principal counsel definitely they don't, apart from the allowances, they don't earn the kind of money that SANS will earn when they are taking up your matter. But it's a decision that the our Attorney General has taken. He knows best in these matters. So I guess he believes that this is the best person to help them prosecute the matter.
So what about Kanu's?
Kanu, I wouldn't know whether there was a fallout between Kanu and Ozekome, Dr. Ozekome, who was handling his matter. I wouldn't know. These sort of things are not easy to determine. But if it wasn't extremely necessary, he wouldn't have dropped a lawyer who had been handling his matter since 2021. Now we have Pam Ejiofor. Lawyer Ejimako had been there all along. A lawyer had been with the legal team all along. But now he's been given a greater prominence. And Kanu too is not taking the case lightly. His lawyers want bail at this time because, according to them, he's been suffering from hypertension and he needs surgery because of the problem with his hair. But whether the court will agree to let him go on bail so that he can have surgery on his hair is a question that will be resolved with time. But as things stand, the Awomolo has opposed the idea of bail, arguing that in the past he was granted bail and John bail. So the lawyer is saying, as far as he's concerned, there is nothing that shows to them that if he's granted bail, he won't jump bail a second time. But the judge made one request that I find interesting. Kanu has been wearing the same dress since 2021 when he was brought before the court. And the judge is saying, look, I don't like the fact that you turn up before me wearing the same dress. I want you to wear something different. But Kanu is saying, okay, if I must wear something different, I have to wear something traditional with Isiagu and the rest of them. And the judge is saying, just be prepared to wear something simple. I doubt if Kanu will take that advice. He would rather wear what he thinks
befitting of his status?
Yes, that is where the disagreement is. So we'll see how things pan out in the coming days, and I'm sure that even the reason why this significant decision to drop Dr. Ozekome for
Dr. David Kaswe. Okay,
Pam Ejiofor will be known to us in the fullness of time. As for Awomolo, it's within the right of the Attorney General to hire a private lawyer to take over from the government prosecutor, as the case may be, government counsel, as the case may be.
So, Sikian, with this external prosecutor, a private prosecutor, if you like, of taking over the case, what are you likely to foresee as this case goes on? Even though the trial has been adjourned, we understand, till March the 9th. What are you likely to see in days to come when this trial begins? Are we likely to see any, quickened judgment or hearing, or what are you likely to see?
Well, if the whole idea is to quicken judgment, I'm all for it. The federal government has a right to appoint whoever they think should be able to prosecute the case. Kanu's case has been adjourned to March 19th, when, his bail application will be heard. The trial will start on the 20th, the next day, March 20th. But we have to look a bit back. The appeal court discharged and acquitted him in October 2022. It was based on that the federal government appealed and went to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court, on December 15, 2023, said that Kanu should stand trial for treason. And he has been there since 2021 when he was arrested. And what the Court of Appeal said was that his arrest in Kenya was illegal. That was the whole, that for Nigeria to have gone to Kenya to arrest him was in another country, that it was legal. And it was based on that premise that the Court of Appeal. But the Supreme Court in its wisdom have said, no, he must stand trial. But my whole total approach to this is different.
Okay.
I believe that there should be a political approach to the issues at stake.
Why?
Because I feel that this issue, as it is, has lingered for too long. And if you see the agitation in the Southeast, it's based on the trial, this same trial going on. I'm not saying that he's innocent. I'm not saying that he cannot be charged for what, but I believe that the government, as it were, can look at political solution. There will be people, eminent people from the South have said, release these guys to us, we are going to say. In as much as, yes, people continue to say that, Nnamdi, when he was arrested, when they were released, he jumped bail. But we have to look at the circumstances leading to that. His house was raided by the military, and he escaped. He was almost killed. And that was how he escaped. He left the country. And I've said it time with that number that, leave the messenger, look at the message, and you ask yourself, what Nnamdi Kanu has been agitating for? Is it true or not? Is it true that his people of the Southeast have been marginalized or not? Is it true that since after the Civil War, the 3 R's that were agreed by the federal government as it concerns the Southeast, hasn't been fulfilled? Those are the issues that are agitating the mind of everybody. His approach may be wrong. You might not like his approach, but the fact is that what he is saying, what he has been saying, and the right of these people that have been fighting, and let's not, this is not the only country. There are some guys called Catalans in Spain. I'm sure you've heard them. When you hear Barcelona football club, Barcelona as a region has been fighting the federal government in Spain that they want their own, they want to go their separate ways. It has been going on. In fact, the leader of that was arrested some time ago and later released. So there has been agitation. Agitation is a normal thing. Even here in Nigeria, remember the issue of Igboho and what happened? Igboho was raided by DSS and he was to be arrested before he ran to Cotonou, Benin. It was in Cotonou that he was now arrested and he was kept in jail. And recently, Igboho is back in the country. He's Nigerian now. So what I'm saying is that we saw a political solution in as much as Igboho was kept for about a year or two. But the fact is that we still had this political solution. So I still believe that instead of going through this trial and rest of them, we can be able to bridge some level of political, we can come to a political table and be able to resolve this. At the end of it all, jailing Nnamdi will it solve the problem? Will it solve the problem of insecurity in Nigeria, both in the Southeast and everywhere? That is my own personal opinion. But good enough, the trial is going to resume on the day. But there have been consistent delay. Here, the question I asked, when Nnamdi, when Court of Appeal asked the federal government to release Nnamdi, why was he not released? If you are going to go appeal, you have to obey that order. Then you can, if there is a counter order to that, then you have to rearrest. It was said that he should be released. He was not released. So those are the issues that so that is what I'm talking about. I say that it is not just about the court. A political solution is what I see that can solve this problem. And except we follow that path, we are getting nowhere.
All right, let's quickly go on a very quick break. You're still on to Journalist Hangout. We'll have